to Talkin Money. And here's Jeff Tarbell.
This is an awesome skating song, by the way.
I see the lights flickering now. Disco ball.
Get my backwards skating. So we did get a winner. Dave, I recognize that name. Dave was our winner for our Hellwig Pass for our quiz question, which was regarding cable TV. There was a couple of people that put on there The Voice. Voice is not cable. I think The Voice is that NBC? Yeah. American Idol is Fox. So those weren't cable. So read the top 10 there, Johnny.
Top 10. We have NCIS.
Okay.
We have Disney's Shake It Up.
Never heard of it.
Little NBA game.
Okay.
Miami, Chicago was a hit.
Okay.
Game Thrones.
Who?
Game some HBO Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Okay.
Game of Thrones. American Pickers.
Okay.
And then WWE Raw for number 5 and 4.
I can't believe. Okay.
Beat out by Swamp People with 5 million.
Okay, that was number 3.
And number 1 and 2.
Yep.
Your favorite show.
Yep. Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars.
Yeah, so Pawn Stars out of Las Vegas. And that was the number 1 and number 2 show. If you haven't watched Pawn Stars, it is awesome. You don't know what? What do you mean, What do you watch on TV there, phone screener? What was your number 1 show? What'd she say? I have not watched Mad Men.
No.
Is that on cable? Or is that yeah? Okay. Oh, AMC. Now, Mad Men, I've heard a lot of good things about. I have not watched that Mad Men. John and I was just frustrated myself because I didn't bring up this article earlier. We were talking about
jobs.
Yeah, labor, unemployed, those who are looking for jobs, those who have quit looking for jobs. And I mentioned that there was some statistics that said people could find a job if they would move. I brought in this article, and I failed to mention it earlier, but I think it's interesting because there's there may be lots of industries. This particular industry is dying for people to come into there's 5,800 companies. They average about 30 employees apiece. And of these 5,800 companies, they figure that each of those companies, on a minimum, need at least 1 to 5 employees right now. So I don't do the math. 5,800 times 5 is a lot, more fingers than I've got. Immediate jobs right now. And they are in the tool and die industry. So basically skilled manual labor, highly skilled manual labor. So they can have computers create these tool and dies, and we're talking about equipment that's used in the aerospace, medical, the military, all kinds of different things. And what they have found is that a lot of these companies, like General Electric is a good example. They took their water heater and refrigerator business, their energy efficient water heater and refrigerator business. They took it overseas, and what they found out, the product that was being made over there was of inferior quality, and it was just causing them nothing but trouble. They moved the whole industry back to Louisville because they just can't get the quality they need outside the United States, which is, hey, knock on wood, that's
Absolutely.
good.
American production.
So
manufacturing.
And the article is right on. The article says, hey, you know what? Every kid doesn't have to go to college to be another freaking business major. We don't need any more business majors. We need some people that actually can use their hands and make something.
Skilled workers.
Make something. And by the way, this ain't piddly job, okay? Fledgling workers typically complete 4-year apprenticeships, after which they can make $60,000 a year after 4 years of an apprenticeship. So you name me something else right now off the top of your head. You make $60,000 after you. So basically, if you're someone who's good with your hands and you don't want to go to college, I don't blame you. College is not for everybody. And you want to go do a 4-year apprenticeship, so do your college with them. And you come right out, boom, here's $60,000. I know a lot of people right now with student loans that would like to have a $60,000 job that don't
Without
have
the loans,
that aren't even making $16,000 a job. So the tool and die industry, and I'll give you an example. Here's a company right now, Overton Industries in Indiana. They've been trying in vain to hire about 10 engineers, machinists, and tool die specialists. That's one company. There's 5,800 of them. They're looking for. I can't read that, Vince. You have to bring that in here if you're going to. So everybody's messing with me today too. Not only can I not talk, no, you can bring it in here if you want, Vince. Let me see. When the previous host, Pawn Stars, awesome. American Digger is up and coming. What is American? What is American Digger?
Like American Pickers.
Oh, is it? Diggers and Pickers?
They're digging for antiques and things, and then they take them and sell them.
Okay. I thought American Pickers was a story about an allergy story. I'm not sure what that was. So,
Diggers and Pickers.
Diggers and Pickers. There will, I mean, pretty soon there will be no show that's actually written by anybody. It'll be all, right off the live show. So anyway, if you're looking for a job and you are handy with your hands and they call highly skilled machinist and $60,000,
Make some money.
And you're going to have to move though, because most of those guys are in the Midwest.
Yes.
Those companies that are doing their business out there. So I thought that was interesting. I got all kinds of stuff here. I did see a few things here. Did we get into this last week?
I don't know. Did we?
I don't know. There's two things I was going to talk about during the break. And here we go. I wrote down one of them. I was going to finish up on HARP 2 because we started on HARP 2, the refinance, and I stopped. We went to the break, and I didn't finish up one thought. So one of them was we're talking about misconceptions now, or things that people are trying to do on the HARP 2. One of them was you cannot roll your second mortgage into the first.
Right.
Okay. And that's just one of the rules. And that would be a great benefit if you could. I understand that, but you can't.
Yeah, no lender's going to do that.
No,
Take
well,
the risk. All the risk.
Fannie Mae is offering this HARP 2 program because they're already on the hook for your first mortgage. They don't want to make it worse by adding in a second that they're not responsible for. So they're doing just the first only. The second thing is that what we're finding a lot of the issues coming back is that although it was advertised, you might be able to change the title, or if you had a co-borrower previously and now your income is really good, maybe you could take mom or dad off the loan. And there's not a lot of co-signers on a conventional loan, but there's some. Mm-hmm. But I'm finding that that we're getting skewed results and skewed approvals if you have removed, if anything has changed from the original application. And it's kind of frustrating because some of that could even be that Fannie Mae has your address just typed wrong. There's just a typo in the address on their end of the things, and so you upload it, 125 River Street, and they've got it Riva Street, and it doesn't, it comes back and says, well, we don't identify that property, so that we can't do a HARP 2 on it. But we know it's a Fannie Mae loan, and it might even say in other places it's a Fannie Mae loan, and yet. So you got to track down Fannie Mae and have them change it on their end. That's one of the things. But a lot of what I'm seeing is people are trying to drop somebody. So if you and your wife were on the application when you took it out, you're now divorced, and you come in, you do an application, your wife's not on there. It comes back and says, basically, hey, something's changed. We don't know what it is, but something's changed, and it doesn't give you.
And we don't like it.
Yeah, we don't like it. So because the risk tolerance has changed for Fannie Mae. Hey, before you said you made 5, your wife made 5, you had 10. Now you say you make 8. They get less income. So that's been a little bit of a problem. So you're trying to drop somebody off of there, either purposely or whatever is causing some issues there with the HARP 2. The other thing, and we'll talk about this more in the future because I think this is going to be big, and I talked about it last week a little bit, was the mortgage write-down. And we're seeing more and more articles and more discussion, particularly between Freddie and Fannie, about just writing down the balances. And so far, this has been a political discussion. And those that are in power and politics want to be able to go back to their constituents right now during election season and say, hey, look, what we did, we saved you and your house. So we told those bad people at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to take the $250,000 loan you owe and move it down to $195 because that's where the value is. And look what we did for you. We kept you in your house. And so far, the gentleman that particularly runs Freddie, but the people that run FHFA, which is the Federal Housing Finance Association, who's in charge of both of them, has basically said, do not tell me how to run my job and get the hell out of my office. And I mean, it has gotten to that point where he's basically said, do not talk to me. Don't tell me what to do. You guys hired me as an independent evaluator to run this thing so we don't lose more money. And do not come here and put politics on me. Get out of my face. And I applaud him for that. That is not an easy job to do.
Absolutely not.
Now, he may or may not be right about that, but I applaud him for saying, do not put politics in my face and get out of my office. I'm running the show here. Fire me if you want to fire me. But otherwise, get out of my face. And I like that. But I think that there's some pressure, and they're reevaluating now the benefit of writing down the balance rather than putting people into short sales. Because maybe at the end of the day, again, if it ends up as a net less of a loss for Fannie and Freddie, then we should look at it.
Sure.
But what happens and what the concern is it causes a moral hazard. So John's in his house now, and he's like, I guess I could do this HARP 2 refi and refinance my house is upside down, but I have to refi the same balance, or should I just wait? Maybe they'll just cut my balance back.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion out there.
Or should I stop sending my payment in? Because if I stop sending my payment in, then they'll lower my balance. And that's called the moral hazard. That's the bigger problem. We'll talk about that next week as well. You going to come back next week? You around?
I am around.
All right. We got about 30 seconds left. That is it for another week. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'm sorry for the scratchy voice there and the frog in the throat. Thanks to our sponsors at the River Cats and at Hellwig and at IMAX. And we'll get all those prizes out this week. And a special thanks to Sierra at Tahoe. I know we're the season's over for us here. We all are out of tickets, but thank you so much. We really enjoyed having you guys around this year. Hopefully we'll see you guys next year. Thank you very much. That is it. You can follow us on Facebook if you want. There is a Talkin Money page. John Fodorero is at Comstock Mortgage. You can find him online or jefftarbell.com. And we are out of here. I think we'll go
play in the sun.
Take some more allergy pills or something. Eat some more chocolate chip cookies. Hey, we'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week. Be safe. And we'll be back here at 9 o'clock next Saturday.
Enjoy. Don't be late.
Aloha.